Hello everyone, I'm Silent Death, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. As we know from episode 9, the Duna transfer window is coming up very soon. So that's going to be our primary goal for this episode. But first, there is a few things that I've noticed while I've been fiddling around between episodes. I think that we pretty much screwed ourselves with not realizing how important reputation is. Between episodes, I looked in the save file and checked what my actual reputation is, and it's 500 and something, which is roughly half what it is, or what it was when we started this, and I don't think we're really getting what we want from that. So we're going to cancel this. Yes, we're also going to cancel this one, because we want to build our reputation back up so we can start making more money. Now for the Duna transfer thing, I built a pretty giant rocket that was going to go to Duna, and it was a station that would stay in orbit and just suck all the science from Duna and Ike. Unfortunately, it was about 100 more parts than our current VAB limit. We can upgrade the VAB, but that would only leave us with 89,000, and of course my rocket is far more expensive than that, so we've had to go somewhere or a somewhat different approach. It freaks me out when the sound just cuts out like that. So we're also going to pick up this. Yes. We might as well pick up that. It has a year or so if we can. Well, no, that's not. Well, it is a lot of reputation, so we'll do that. Perform visual surveys. I may do that off camera. This one, 11 years. Yeah, I think we can try to do that at some point in the next 11 years. If we don't die of old age by then. Now, for our Duna vessel. Let's go ahead and start taking off, and we can talk about this as we're climbing. It's a slightly modified version, well, a heavily modified version of our S2E10 that we tested in episode 8. Let's pull that all the way up. I guess I should throttle up. That might actually help. Can't really see anything with all the smoke. Getting up, getting up. You can do it. You can do it. Really needs to have a whole bunch of throttle. Then tap off the brakes. Make sure that we have fine controls. And away we go, just zooming down the runway. 100 meters per second. 120 meters per second. Stay on the runway. Whoa, oh, no. Launch failure. Now that Jebediah is done goofing off in the simulator, we can do this for real. So accelerating, 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 and try to take off, try to take off, try to take off. There we go. Whoa. Don't do it. Don't go down. There we go. Up. Raise those gear. Ooh, oh, not quite that far up, I think. We'll just lock on this. We're a little bit off center. It's kind of important for us to be right on the money for this kind of interplanetary transfer thing. Alright. Now, while we're climbing, got to make sure that I pay attention to this, though. Let's talk about this vessel a little bit. So as I said, it's a modified version of our SSTO. I've changed the wing to make it a little bit more Delta-like, putting this little Delta wing in front of here. I've also, going way off now, flip it over, flip it over, come on. Maybe it needs to tilt. I've also, since we're having the cargo on top, I've removed the cargo bay and shortened the whole aircraft that way. And then I had to adjust the wing placement so that the center of lift was in the right spot, etc., etc. The top part is our interplanetary vessel. It is not what you would call a traditional Duna lander, but everything but this little part here is designed to be recoverable, and theoretically this can land multiple times on both Duna and Ike and still have enough fuel to make it back to Kerbin and perform a landing on the airstrip, because it will fly in both the Duna's and Kerbin's atmospheres, though only low in Duna's atmosphere naturally, and it's a little bit difficult to control in low Kerbin atmosphere due to that. Going to start leveling off here in a moment. Switch to that. I think we'll level off. We need to start gaining a lot more speed. Come on. Going down as far as I can. It doesn't want to do it. Come on, you can do it. Still trying to climb. Okay, let's look at our intake air. Actually, I should probably just watch that one. That one's more accurate, or easier to figure out. We need to get our speed up quite a bit higher. Horizontal speed is increasing rapidly. We're approaching. There we go. Just lock it on right there. So as I was saying, this whole thing is recoverable except for this little part here, which is basically just a giant fuel tank with some RCS to help it dock to that. It has a docking port on the front. We are going downwards now. And that sound just makes me feel wrong. Makes me wonder what is going on. This also has a docking port on front. So let's go up a little bit. Just kind of hang out at this atmosphere or this altitude for a little while. Pulling up. Let's hope that nope, want to go higher. Getting there. Want to get around, 1600 orbital velocity at about 30 kilometers. Kind of tilting over a little bit now. Wish you would hold. It doesn't really want to stay locked in the position I'm telling it to. Okay. Now then, if we go here, this might work out. Nope, not quite. Let's go a little bit higher. Starting to gain some speed now. Might have to put on the RCS here in a moment. Just kind of control this. Come on, you can do it. You can do it, Jebediah. I have faith in you. Everyone on the planet has faith in you. Our first interplanetary travel. Okay, is that still climbing? Not quite. A little bit higher. Now then, how's that? If I click on RTS, will you help then? Want to get a good vertical speed component as well, so that's kind of important for this. It's not just about the horizontal speed. And our air is starting to get low because we're getting up in the rarefied atmosphere. Okay, we're going fast enough now that we might want to start looking at climbing a lot faster. If I can. Okay, we're way past where we want to be there. I've obviously, since we don't have access to action groups yet because of our low technology, I'm using the staging and the default hotkeys to kind of control that kind of stuff, which means that I'm having to fiddle with some things. Okay, we are actually going pretty well right now. But our engines are about to shut off, so bump that up. There we are. Looks like we're going to achieve orbit now. Quite okay. RCS is on. We are using it. Good. Getting up our speed quite nicely. It's a little bit wobbly. Must have some control issues getting this high. Vertical speed is fine. Really quite wobbly. Can I just click on this? Will you smooth out then? Yeah, that's better. Kind of a little bit tilted. Vertical speed is actually going down, so you need to go higher. Much, much higher. We'll put you, say, right about here. How will that work? I think that'll work. I thought about having, I don't know if we can have crew reports from this right here, because that is the man part. I guess we can try to log some seismic data. Nope, have to be on the surface for that. We can do some barometric approaches though. Log that. We will keep that data. How are we doing on our vertical component? Good, good, excellent. Of course, there's also the downside that we have to be facing into the sunlight for these to run since we're using the ion propulsion engines. As I was saying, I tried to do a capsule here instead of this materials bay and goo container, but the capsule is just so much heavy. Even the Mark 1 lander is so much heavier, it just really kills the lift profile. We are almost up to orbital speed. Having a little bit of trouble maintaining stability. That's what it looks like, though we are gaining. I think we can go ahead and accelerate things a little bit. Not... a little bit more wobbly now, isn't it? Must be having trouble keeping at the thing that I wanted at. Let's see. Look, stop oscillating and just like aim right there. Will that help out? Not really all that much. We're approaching our apoapsis slowly. Should still be okay. I think we can actually aim down a little bit, then do that. Should allow us to speed things up. Yeah, that's a little bit better. We can start approaching that since we're starting to circularize our orbit, though a little bit lower than we would like. Should still work out. We do have plenty of fuel left. And I guess we can check to see where he is. What's your orbital altitude? So 112 kilometers. It's like a perfectly circular orbit. We're going to go up to probably 125 for the detachment phase. And if you look at this vessel, well, we can't see it. Let me put a cut in here and we'll wait until we get into the daylight again. Since we're pretty much in orbit now, it's just a little bit of fine-tuning. And we've circularized an orbit of about 133 to 134 kilometers above Kerbal. So it is time for Numal to hop out. As I was saying before, we have to have a level 3 engineer to repack this parachute. And we only have 2 level 3 engineers. One of them is one of the starting 3, so we're not going to use him to send to Duna, because they might be staying there quite a long time. Let's see if you can't take that data, and then you'll go put it back in here. Store experiments, thank you. Then he's going to kind of hop in here and get ready for his very long interplanetary transfer. Board. There we go. Now then, it is time for separation. Time for separation. There we go. And away he goes. He's going to be sitting in that chair for quite some time. It's a good thing Kerbols don't get hemorrhoids or anything. That would be rather uncomfortable. I mean, presumably there's like hoses to hook up to his suit to, you know, drain waste and things. Let's go ahead and switch to this vessel. Deploy the solar panels. And you can see here the docking ring on the fuel tank. The fuel tank drone. Now then, it is how many days until Kerbal Duna intercept? So we still have 4 whole days. We're going to use that time to land our lander. Make sure RCS is off on this, SAS is on, everything else is perfectly okay. Should have enough torque to turn this whichever way we want. So we can switch back to this vessel. And you're going to set this guy as a target. You're going to reverse, I think, your thrust thing. Try to do a, what is it, Hoffman transfer, I believe it's called. We will, let's do some maneuver nodes. That sounds like a good idea. I can't even tell who is. So this is ours. And we don't know our closest approach. Can I get it so that it's just, you know, perfect? Let's go ahead and just see how much thrust we would need to intersect. Are we off on the inclination? That might be it. Let's cancel this node and see what our inclination is. Not terrible, but we may want to just tweak it a tiny bit. So let's see, it's 0.9. Okay, other way. 0.8, 0.7, 0.4. There we are, 0.1. Alright, that is what we're going to do. And we can now click on the maneuver node since we have a level 3 pilot, which is as good as pilots get. It's only scientists that really are useful above level 3 at this moment. So we will warp to our node. It only takes 13 seconds. Make sure that's updated properly. Yep, 13 seconds. Good. Right. Add an alarm. Say. Give me 20 seconds. Add the alarm. And then we'll warp. Keep an eye on our Duna timer. And we're not really going that far. Close the alarm. Wait for 6 seconds. Approximately 6 seconds anyway. Keep an eye on this. There we are. Might want to RCS. Kind of fine tune that a little bit. I think the RCS is actually moving it. There we are. Perfection. Okay, now then can we set up a node and see about getting this nice and joined together. Close approach. Separation 1.2 something kilometers. That sounds pretty good. Is there a way I can see the closest approach? Maybe on this? Trip info. Nope, not really that. Don't know what that means. Oh, memory save probably. Isn't there a target thing? Rendezvous? Distance. Is that the closest approach? Oh, that's kilometers and not meters. Okay, so that's not good. Separation. Alright, I need it to be orange, that's right. I've been a while since I've played with this. Let me fiddle with this and I'll be right back. Okay, so we've burned so that our orbit is touching our target's orbit at 1 point, but we're still going out beyond them. So we're going to be orbiting at different speeds, and hopefully we will close this a little bit. So it's time to speed up a few orbits, and it will also help us advance towards our launch window a little bit. So intercept 1. So we're getting closer by about 100 kilometers each time. Cannot warp any faster. Yet. There we go. Woo, faster, faster. 30. Position 12. 12.5. 12.5. Is that right? 5.5, and maybe we're not closing as fast as I would like. Well, we're just going to be fast forwarding for a little while, and you don't want to watch that. Okay, we are within a kilometer of what's his face. We only have to be within 2.5, I think. It's right there. To switch to him. And here he is. So we're going to wait till we get to the closest approach, which is 2 minutes from that. I guess we could go ahead and, let's see, set this as target. Or can I? I guess I can't. I don't have any HUD thing. We'll just have to, you know, kind of eyeball it. Zoom in on that. Shouldn't take much. At least he has plenty of RCS. Zooming in a little bit more. Yeah, he's going to make it. And then we will have successfully completed one mission. Oh, slow down. Slow down, fella. Okay. Getting a little bit there. Might should have left more ladders on here, but I took them all off because of stuff. Oh yeah, the ladders are on the other side. Oop, oop. Okay, right here. Yeah, we're going to make it. If you would just, you know, grab the ladder there. It's right there. Come on. Look, guy. There's only so much I'm willing to do for you. You're gonna have to grab the ladder yourself. I forget which button I have mapped so that he switches camera view. There we go. Now then, maybe he will. There we are. Grab. Board. Rescue accomplished. Now then, we have to land this. We still have 3 days and a change until our next orbit. To land this, we're going to look for this thing. And we're going to have to glide. The mountains are kind of in the way for a straight approach. So we'll have to glide over the water, turn around, and then come back. We do have plenty of the fuel for the jet engines, so that should not be a particularly difficult task. Just add a maneuver node there. Go in a bit. The periapsis to be just past. Yeah, that looks pretty good to me. We'll save just to make sure. We do have enough fuel for this. We still have 339 fuel. Did not take very much to make it that intercept. Just mostly a matter of patience, really. And at least we didn't have to actually dock with anything, because that takes far too long. Now then, the landing is going to be in fast forward, and it is going to be exceedingly difficult. One of the reasons for that is because of how I've done the wings. Let's get that off. So the wings are angled. As you can see, they're angled up in this direction. Little slant there. There's a little slant going right there. So that means that even flying level, it has a bit of lift. Quite a bit of lift, in fact. Without the payload, it can take off just running straight without ever having to touch the controls. It'll just lift off all by itself. Because of that, we've got a couple of parachutes strapped on here, but unfortunately you can only set parachutes to open at a minimum altitude of 50 feet. That's quite a bit high above the runway. So what I've done is I've mapped the abort control to the cut parachutes, so we can use them to slow down quite a bit, but hopefully we don't crash into the ground. I'm expecting this to take me more than one attempt. I will admit that. This is going to be an extremely difficult thing to land, but we'll pump everything forward to start out with and just give it a couple of shots. But I'll be fast forwarding it. Well, we made it down mostly intact, and we've got our new guy. Let's see, let's turn off the rendezvous thing here. And we can recover this, which leaves us with the Duna intercept in another 3 days. The hard thing about that is that, of course, to go to Duna, we're going to have to launch around the dark side of the planet, and we require a solar panel for that craft. I don't know how we're going to figure that out, but we're going to try to do something with that. But we'll be moving to that now. Okay, we are apparently in our transfer window. So our thing needs to be somewhere around here. And let's just go ahead and get it up to around escape velocity. Then we can tweak it a little bit. A little bit better than that. Okay. I guess that's something. Hopefully we don't actually crash into whatever it is, the Minimus. Nah, we're not going to crash into that. It may mess up our thing, though. We can adjust things. Going to need, I think, a couple hundred more delta V. There we are. And let's see, what is our Connex mode telling us? Our closest approach is... Thank you. 1,000,000 kilometers. Okay, that's 77,000 kilometers, which is pretty close. 65. 53. We want to get down. Okay, that's actually an encounter. Oh, messed that one up. Perhaps we'll have to probably make an adjustment in mid-flight to get that perfect. But we'll wait until we get out of our thing. Can we? That looks better. Can I tweak this way? 42,000? 46, so that's the wrong way. 29. 15. Still 15. Right? So 1,000 or 1,000,000 meters. 12 million meters. Yeah, 1 million meters. 600. That looks like about as good as we're going to get it. Which is not surprising. It's really not. We'll check to make sure our orbit is pretty much where we want it. Can maybe tweak that a tiny bit if we adjust our timing. 13. Really not going to have this much accuracy. 4, 5. That's going to have to do, I guess. So we don't know what our estimated burn time is because we don't know our engines. 18-minute burn. That is a fairly long burn. Let's go ahead and line up. I guess I can't do that with this guy, but we can switch around. Ooh. Lot of torque on this. At least we're going to be facing the right direction. So we'll go into where about 11 minutes out, and then we'll just start burning. And hopefully we'll have enough power somehow to do this. I really don't know how we're going to pull it off, but we're going to have to figure out something. Okay, start burning here. And we're going to be waiting for a while, so I will see you in a little bit. Alright, we are now finally on an intercept course for Duna's Sphere of Influence. Not a particularly great intercept. 18 million meters. So we're going to try to do a little burn here. Let's see if we can't adjust this a little bit. Alright, I figured out the issue I was having. There's actually two lines here, and I was clicking on the purple one, and I should be clicking on the little blue one here. But I managed to adjust the node, ascending or descending node, so that we're within 47 kilometers of Duna. Right, just going to skim just outside the atmosphere. That's as close as I can get with these tools. Maybe with a nerd 27. Actually, let's do that. And now it's changing. Weird. Very weird. Did I click somewhere on the wrong spot? No, had it. Noticing the right amount of time. Something weird is going on. Might need to like tweak that, man. There we go. So that's within 200 meters. Get it down to just about minimum. $82, $60, $40, $19. Negative something. Okay, that's going to be as close as we're going to get with. We want to skim around 10 kilometers above it. That's what our goal is, so that we can use the atmosphere for aerobraking. But we will add an alarm. So it calls it the rover. I don't know why it calls it the rover. We'll say give me a 5-minute warning and give me a pop-up. Add the alarm, and then when it pops up, it will save this node data so that I can have my node back here in the, however long that is, 149 days. So, I hope that you're okay sitting there for a while, because you're going to be. Now then, is there anything else I wanted to do this episode? I don't think so. Probably want to do a few things around here. Didn't I already have a Minmus satellite? Can I use the same satellite for both of them? Surface outpost satellite. Yep, okay. So go ahead and pick that one up. Test a rocket in flight over Kerbin 77 rep. The Rockomax. Is that in flight? 13,000 speed? Yeah, I could probably do that. But we're definitely going to pick that one up. I think we may do another SSTO launch with some satellites next time. I'm probably going to do maybe one of the, around Kerbin missions off camera. Start getting a little bit of money. We do have some science, though. Can we spend it on anything good? We could... Nope, we can't buy that. We could buy that, but I don't want it. I'm just going to save up for that, I think. So, like if you like. Subscribe if you're not. Let's check these first. He's now part of the space crew. And how much money they get? Oh, that didn't get very much. 6,000... 50,000. Oh, I guess I got a little bit. Anyway, like if you like, subscribe if you're not. Leave a comment if you have anything to say. I do read all the comments. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.